It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 dig, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
For Carl Edwards, second place finisher, number 99 Aflac Ford. Carl, nice day today. Tell us about that run.
Yeah, I mean, second place. I mean, awfully close. Thank you, thank you. First loser, she says. I mean, obviously the tire debacle there. That's I think NASCAR and everyone did the best they could once the race started. But you know, obviously that was a mistake there that the tire. But I think everyone did a pretty good job, and you know, we all make mistakes, so we just did the best we could with it. And at the end, I truly believe that we were going to be able to drive by Jimmy. All day I've been racing around him, and I thought I was a little better than him, but he was holding back a little more than I thought he was. So on the restart, Denny Hamlin was hanging back a little bit, and I had no clue how good Denny was, so I thought, of all things, I'm not going to let Denny get by me here, so I hung back a little bit and got a run from Denny, thinking that I had 7 laps and I'd be able to work Jimmy over, but I just could never get to him. Our cars were, you know, almost identical in speed, so you know, that's where we ended up as second. But I truly believe we were going to be able to win that race. I thought it was ours, but that's how it goes.
We'll take questions for our runner-up. Carl Edwards, have a question? Raise your hand. We'll come around with a wireless mic. Name and affiliation, please.
Bob Kravitz with the Indianapolis Star. Fans out there are pretty angry about what they saw today.
Yeah.
Who do you hold responsible for what happened?
Well, it's the I mean, obviously it's the folks that make the tires. I mean, you know, that's just the way it is. But you know, as long as they have Aflac, as long as they get fired or something, they'll be all right, I guess. You know, I don't know. It's just I don't want to. Look, I've heard people go on tirades about it. Look, everybody's doing their job. I mean, everybody's trying their hardest. I mean, every once in a while I run into the wall or, you know, act like I'm going to punch somebody after the race or something. And everybody makes mistakes, and they just assume that the way I understand it, they assume that tire was going to, the rubber was going to fill in like it has before, and everything would be fine. And what happened is it turned into a dust instead of laying into the racetrack, and it just never filled in the gaps. So, yes, it's their fault, but I mean, we're all doing the best we can. I just hope the fans understand that this is not – nobody wants to see this happen. Goodyear, you know, the least, I'm sure. So, you know, that's what it is.
Carl, Dave Rowe from the Fan 960. When you actually could get some green flag laps in,
yeah.
How was the racing? That was the other question.
The car is good. The car ran really well here. It's cool. They took the rumble strips out, you know, those bumps down there. That was good. And, you know, really, it pays the same. The trophy looks the same. I really don't give a damn if we race 10 laps at a time. I mean, you know, it's frustrating, but it's the same for everyone. I'm sure we won't have that race again. I'm sure that will not happen again. You know, that's the only thing that I can say. I guarantee there will be some sort of better testing, you know, that comes from this. Hopefully it's testing without a race team. Hopefully it's a NASCAR, you know, owned race car and driver and things like that, and then come out and test a little more. But that's it. The racing was fine. I thought Jimmy and I being able to race there at the end. If we could have raced for 30 laps like that, it would have been pretty cool.
Question right here.
Sam King, Lafayette Journal and Courier. Carl, it looked like you had the best car last night, and then you said you feel like you had the best car there at the end of the day. Is this a positive weekend, or are you a little frustrated to go out at Indianapolis with a second place and 11th or whatever it was last night?
I learned a long time ago not to let all your emotions hinge on the result. It has to be the performance. And I felt like last night we performed. I mean, I don't think I could have done much better last night, so I was happy with that, even though obviously I was frustrated with the result. And then today was we did the very best we could. My pit crew, you know, Jimmy had the first pit stall. We came in and we took 2 tires and we beat a lot of folks out. They did a great job. So I felt like we performed the best we could. If you know, if Jimmy hadn't had the pole, if he was pitted down on the other end, we might have beat him, and it might have been a different race. But you know, they earned it, and we just need to do a better job qualifying.
Carl, Kenny Bruce, NASCAR scene. Were you ever in a situation out there where the mandatory cautions hurt you, where you felt like don't throw it, keep going because
No.
we're on a roll now? I mean, or were you like,
No.
let's get in?
I could burn the tires off the car. At the end of the race, I ran as hard as I could for 7 laps. I don't know if it would have done that for 9 laps. I know early on I could run about 80%, and it would make it 11 laps, but that's it. 85%, I had the right rear tire come apart, So, they had to time them so that we didn't run out of tires. It would have been great if they'd have been 8-lap runs. Boy, you'd have seen some hardcore racing then. But the 11-lap runs made everybody throttle back a little bit. But it's kind of neat. I learned some things, out there. I learned about, Bob told me about the tires each time, and I kind of learned how to feel and change around and wear the tires differently, which it made me think a lot harder than normal. Usually you just try the hell out of it, and that's it,
Here, we'll go right here and then over to Monty.
Carl, Mike Rothstein, Journal-Gazette. At what point did you realize that the tires just weren't going to get any better today?
I knew when there wasn't any rubber laying down on the track. When I couldn't see any rubber on the track, I thought we were in trouble there. I know everybody was hoping that we'd hoping that it would get better, by lap 30 or 40, but I knew we were in trouble there.
So it was that early that you realized that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here, Bonnie, before you ask, let's get an opener from Denny Hamlin, our third-place finisher, and the number 11 FedEx Office Toyota. Denny, tell us quickly about that run today.
We had a solid run. I mean, I don't think anyone really could push their car as hard as what they would like to throughout the day. But we were just we were put in a box. Unfortunately, NASCAR was put in a box. Goodyear was put in a box, and with these tires being the tires, I think, were good. I think it's just the car itself is really hard on them, and it's tough. This track don't take rubber very good anyway. So for only 3 cars to come here and tire test, it's going to be extremely hard for them to get the data they need to produce a good race tire. So, I mean, unfortunately, that was the circumstances what we were given. But I applaud NASCAR in the same aspect for not putting anybody else in danger by putting these cautions out.
Monty Dutton, is it? Carl, and also for Denny as well. One of the things that you were hearing this morning was that if the tires won't go far, people are just going to have to go slower. Well, in 1969, the first race ever run at Talladega, the same thing happened, and that's what Big Bill France said. He said if you have to go 20 miles an hour slower, you have to do that. But the drivers walked out because they thought that it's ridiculous for a race car driver to be asked to go slow. And I just wanted to ask you, did you have to do that, and how tough is that to do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, Denny, but I had to go about, like I said, about 80%, just ease it around there. And it sure would have been interesting if they didn't have those cautions. That, like Denny said, man, that's a good plan right there, just to have the caution. If they'd have just said, hey, run as long as you want, oh my gosh, that would have been a crazy race.
It would have been 10 laps anyway, because someone would. I mean, it seemed like right at 10 laps, somebody would have to. I mean, would stop almost because they were going to blow a tire. So it didn't matter whether they, mandatory or not. They were going to have a caution.
Yeah.
Well, early in the race, they couldn't have a competition caution because they couldn't get to it before a tire blew out.
Right. I was just trying not to be that guy.
Yeah, and I mean, from the driver's seat, really, I mean, you can, there's some tires that just blow out, but I could feel it. Around lap 8.5 or so, you could feel a little bit of a vibration, and that's when all right, let's start backing it down a little bit more. And not that I was running hard anyway to that point. So, we seemed like as soon as they threw the caution is when I needed it because I was about to wreck. We were about to blow a tire out. So, we needed those cautions.
Okay, more questions? We'll go to more. Come on. Go ahead.
Andrew.